Raucous. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
It's about time EX Turk, your king tonight. It's about time EX Turk, my archfiends, and we're going to be covering the topic of Dissidia's story. So have some popcorn ready, and let's just jump right in there. Now, the first Dissidia game would be called Dissidia Final Fantasy. It was the first game to be released on the Sony PlayStation Portable, or PSP is what you'd call it. Now, with the story of Dissidia would take place after Final Fantasy 1. One of the Chaos has been defeated, and one of the other Garlands and other timelines have survived, turned to Chaos, ravaged the world. But this would be after Final Fantasy 1, of course. And then it is being a powerful goddess named named Cosmos comes out to stop Chaos, but knows that she can't do it alone. So she summons the heroes of all the Final Fantasy worlds. And Chaos knows about her summoning the heroes, so he summons all the villains from the Final Fantasy universes, and then it begins an all-out war. Now, each of the games represent a segment in time where things happen. Like, my theory on this is that Dissidia Duodecim and Dissidia Opera Omnia, the mobile game, and the other PSP game, and even spin-off titles like Universal Tuning are part of just the original Final Fantasy Dissidia. So you guys just call Dissidia Duodecim and Opera Omnia just the expansion pack of the original game, because that's what it is. The stuff that happened in Duodecim and the stuff that happened in Opera Omnia happened during the first Dissidia. During the war to save all the universes before Chaos ravages all the universes, So this is a universal tournament, pretty much. Universal tournament where all grudges are settled. All battles are settled. In a big universal battle between all the Final Fantasy heroes and the Final Fantasy villains for one conflict. And sometimes the villains might turn on Chaos because their goals differ from Chaos, So pretty much what happened in Dissidia 1 actually would include the events of Duodecim, such as if you played Final Fantasy Dissidia 1 and beat Chaos in Dissidia 1, you see the ending has two new characters that were not in the original game. Judge Gabranth and Shitaro. They were never in the original game, but you see them in the ending of the first game. So that could occur that actually confirms Duodecim is actually that actually confirms Duodecim is actually part of the original Dissidia Final Fantasy. And Dissidia Opera Omnia is pretty much an expanded version of Duodecim in a way where it expands the story and lore a lot more. Of course, there are more heroes and there are more villains that are summoned from both sides, but to make the war a little bit longer and the arc a little bit longer, the mobile game Opera Omnia exists for those exact reasons. But Opera Omnia is actually a fan service Dissidia game. Even though it goes into the story, it fits in the actual arc, the Chaos versus Cosmo, interdimensional tournament. Even if it goes well, it's still a fan service game because it has all the characters that people wanted in the other Dissidias that never made it, such as the new Vincent Valentine, Seymour, Zell, etc. So, but it was still part of Dissidia Duodecim, as you've seen that they use the same character animation. They just shortened made chibi versions of each of the characters that are already in Dissidia Duodecim. But Duodecim and Opera Omnia is confirmed to be part of the original war to save the world. And then after Dissida Duodecim, I do complete the regular story from the first one. Note, and if you notice one thing, Dissida Duodecim makes you have the option of playing the original Final Fantasy Dissidia 1 story mode with all the characters. Now, you can't tell me that does not sound like an expansion pack, because they still kept the old story. So, with that entail, speaking of tail, Dissida Duodecim, you go through the new stories, the new chapters that they added in there, and the new adventure mode. You beat both of them. You end up beating Chaos. Chaos transforms to Pharaoh Chaos, and you actually put an end to Chaos once and for all. Chaos is no longer there, and pretty much so was the time loop that Chaos created. So Garland cannot turn into Chaos because Garland was already defeated in Dissidia. So, there's no way Garland could turn to Chaos. This catches these events catches the attention of Materia and Spiritus. This could be the test for the heroes. Just actually have power enough to fight the newest tournament. And the reason why this is why I kind of compare this to Mortal Kombat, is because, Mortal Kombat, they take characters from each dimension and stuff like that, and make them fight. It's kind of like that. It's pretty much Final Fantasy Mortal Kombat, except without the fatalities, pretty much. So, pretty much what happens now, 5 more, I'm gonna estimate 5 more years after the events of Chaos versus Cosmo, interdimensional war, Materia and Spiritus notice what happened. So Materia starts trouble Spiritus starts trouble with Materia, so she could reclaim the throne. He's already summoned the villains previous, so Materia has to summon the heroes. And this will start a new arc. Because Dissidia, Opera Omnia, Dissidia Duodecim, Dissidia Universal Tuning are actually one full arc. And that's the War on Chaos arc. That's the War on Chaos arc. Now Chaos is no longer around, and Cosmo's pretty much committed suicide because she gave the crystals to the heroes, and that weakened her, so there's no more Cosmos or Chaos. So now Materia has to step up and become the new goddess to keep the light, the world of light together. But Spiritus is an ancient deity that's seen everything that's been happening, and seen that these heroes could be a threat to his rule, because that's what Spiritus wants to do. So Spiritus starts another tournament, and Materia enters with the heroes, alongside the heroes. So this time, Materia is actually going to participate in the tournament to save the world with the heroes, to put an end to Spiritus once and for all, because Spiritus was an ancient evil dark deity that existed a long time ago, but Spiritus is threatened by the heroes of Final Fantasy. So this begins the new tale. That's why it's called Dissidia New Tale, because now it's a new arc. The new arc is pretty much Materia versus Spiritus, the war on Spiritus, or I like to call it the Apocalypse War, because this is going to be more important than what happened between Cosmo and Chaos. This will affect Multiverses too if Spiritus wins this tournament, and that's why Materia is going to enter this tournament and actually help the Final Fantasy heroes. So this will be a new arc. We don't know if there's going to be a part 2, part 3, or a mobile game that's going to go into this, or a comic book that's going to go into this war, but we don't know very much besides Spiritus decides to take part in the tournament to defeat Spiritus. So we don't know very much what's going to happen in NT. We're going to be in a new tale. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to actually wait it out and wait till the game actually comes out before talking about it like that. But pretty much the Chaos arc is over, and now it's the new arc, the new series of Dissida. So it's the new timelines, and then this one will add Final Fantasy characters. This will add more Final Fantasy 13 characters, and will add Noctis and possibly Arden in the mix, since this is a new battle now, and this battle is going to get a lot more serious than it was before. You know, this war is going to mean a lot. You know, because Chaos wanted to destroy the Final Fantasy worlds, but Spiritus' goal is to control even the multiverses. And if Spiritus were to ever have control of multiverses, it would be pretty bad. So this war is the new tale is going to be a serious, darker tournament, and this time everything's going to be settled. The villains will never be able to come back like they did in the last arc. If they get defeated, this will be once and for all. This is going to be a all-out war. That's all I know about Dissida New Tale. That's all I know about Dissida New Tale, is it's going to be a new all-out war and a new arc that we never seen before. And this could make the Final Fantasy series even darker than before, since they're already gravitating to that. Such as when you play 15. You know, when you play 15, you got that dark ending. So Final Fantasy is just going to get a lot more grittier and darker than it has ever been before with Dissida and New Tale. And you know how serious this is going to be when you got the Goddess of Light, someone who doesn't even have to does not even have to partake in the tournament, partaking with all the heroes. She's actually going to fight alongside the heroes. She don't even need to do that. But it's that serious. This will affect the multiverse. So that's pretty much what I know about NT. But there's actually only 2 arcs originally. The Chaos arc, and now this is the Spiritus arc. And we don't know what's going to happen, but this is going to be a serious... The story mode's going to get real serious and dark. The villains are going to be much stronger than they were in the Chaos arc. 10 times. You're going to be facing hard villains. And, and we don't know what the final battle is going to be, but we can concur that the final battle is going to be your entire party, your party with materia in it. So we can concur that Spiritus is going to be extremely hard to beat. But nonetheless, that's just a basic walkthrough of Dissidia's confusing storyline. So may the crystal be with you. If you have anything to add, please like and subscribe and share.
Yo, Percocet, yeah. Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, rep the set, yeah. Gotta rep the set, gang, gang. Chase a chick, never chase a bitch, chase no bitch, man.